This whole setup comes from Kroska 1986. There's 100 of these comics here. I already did all the work. I kind of broke them out already. We got about 60% DC, 40% Marvel. I'm really excited, so let's get into it. So the first couple books that I got right off the bat is just two flashes. I got 212, 213, just some really common books. Nothing crazy with that. After that, we've got Firestorm. So Firestorm is definitely one of the characters from the show Legends of Tomorrow. I felt like that's a really good show, and Firestorm is actually one of my favorite characters. So this, I believe, is the 5th volume of Firestorm, so I got 1 through 14 here. No keys or anything like that, but a pretty decent set. I'll probably take a look at it. I don't have a ton of DC, but that's something that I'm actually pretty interested in. Batmans. Can't have DC without some Batmans. So I have a small run here of 480 to 483. So there's those 4 Batman books. And then I have this little unique setup. I've got Batman City of Light. So this is an 8 series books. I have the entire collection. The whole collection goes for like 10 bucks on eBay. You can get it for that price. Something I've never heard of before, but I'll definitely take a look at it. I also received these. These are the Joker books. So this is Joker's Asylum. Basically, each one of these books, it's a one-shot. Joker tells the story of these villains in his own words. The first book is Joker. This one has some decent value to it. It's at least double cover price. And then this is the second series. They're both one-shots. I got Riddler and Killer Croc. Not too bad. Nothing crazy, rare, or anything like that, but decent books nonetheless. I got a small run of Deadman. This is 1 through 5. That's the entire series. Deadman is a very tenured character in the DC universe. Never read any comic books, never owned any comic books of his, so something I'll definitely check out. I have then this basically entire run of Robin from 137 all the way to 153. There's like 1 or 2 missing. Nothing meaningful or anything like that. There's no keys or anything. It's just a normal run. It's volume 2. Nothing crazy. Same thing with this Adventures of Superman. Pretty long run with this book as well. Obviously we're in the 600s, but this is 628 all the way to 643. Same thing. Long run. There's a couple missing. Nothing really important. You can get these for about $1 a book online. For a set, for Marvel, we've got a couple of these. So we've got some Uncannies that are right here, some late Uncannies. And then we get into regular X-Men. And we have a few of those. And then after that, we have Sabretooth. So this is the first volume of Sabretooth, but it's the second actual issue. Really cool cover, not too bad, pretty collectible just by itself, so that's pretty nice looking. Then I have a couple of these open seasons, 1 and 2 for that particular book, and then this whole Mary Shelley's Overdrive for Sabretooth, I got 1 through 4. So the full set of the Sabretooth. I have Excalibur, I have 1 and 2 for these, so 2 books. There's a full series of them out there, probably like 20 issues. Got 1 and 2, not too terrible. Fantastic Four. Now I've been trying to collect Fantastic Four for quite some time. I have a couple loose issues of it, but this I got 1 through 5. The reason why Fantastic Four, there's a couple first appearances, but the main specific one is Marvel Zombies start in Fantastic Four, and that's something that I know is going to be important because horror is all the rage right now, and eventually I plan on getting those books. Can't have a Marvel box without Spider-Man. Marvel Knights, I have a few of those. And this turned into the Sensational Spider-Man after Marvel Knights, that branding change. So I got 5, 6, and 7, so a little medium run with that one. But it ends up being the Sensational Spider-Man Volume 2. And then we have the Spectacular Spider-Man. This is Volume 2. Little run for that one, like 21 to 27. So not terrible, couple of those in there. Best book in the whole box. I have Spider-Man India. So this version of Spider-Man has been rumored to show up in the new Into the Spider-Verse movie. And because of that, and because the India version of Peter Parker is a diverse character, it's a unique character, and this is its only really first appearance in this book. This book has jumped from like $5-10 initially, and now this is going to about $30 for a decent cover. This is probably in about an 8.5 if I had to guess, so a pretty decent copy. Could probably be pressed, but I have not had one of these and wouldn't even know this if I saw it in a comic book store. So when I started going through, I noticed that this was really interesting right away. And yeah, I'm pretty happy to get a $30 book, which essentially pays for half of the box. The last couple books that I got here, I have Mystique. Now Mystique has had a solo series before, but she's got about 16 issues in the second volume, and I have the first 4. This goes for a round cover for these couple 4 books, so not too terrible. I have not read that, I don't own it. But this one's pretty interesting. So Rogue has had her series before, an early series in the 1990s, and this one's from 2004. This is a very sought after series, probably due to the art. So if you take a look at those covers, you can see why. This goes for more than cover price, so it's actually kind of collectible. So it's not too shabby at all. Overall, for 100 comics being bagged and boarded, I mean, you really can't ask for more. You got a couple collectibles, you have decent runs, being able to get a whole series of a couple sets, even if you don't have them before or they're not too valuable. I mean, you got the whole set, so you can just either trade them if you want, or sell them, or read them, or just put them in your collection for later, and then having one comic that actually has value to it. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I feel like this is a really good deal.
Some of you are here for a giveaway. Let's get into those details right now. I have 2 kind of hot books that are speculation books right now. The first one is a special edition Moon Knight book. So this is kind of a one-shot. It's got Moon Knight, Mark Spector Moon Knight, which side by side by Shang-Chi. Now obviously, the movie for Shang-Chi is being released very, very soon, and Moon Knight is going to be a hot property with the new TV show coming out. Prices for this book is all over the place. I believe that this is a pretty dang good copy of it. I've seen prices anywhere from $5 to $15, and with those different movies and shows being released, I think that there's a lot of room to grow for this particular book. The second book that I have is the Amazing Spider-Man 363. This is the 3rd appearance of Carnage. Sales for this book, just like the other one, are all over the place. $15.50 to as much as $40, but with all the hype around the new Venom movie coming out and Carnage to be confirmed into that film, I expect anything Carnage related to be appropriately priced and to raise, especially closer to the release. What I will need from you is to like this video, comment below which of these books you like the best, and when I hit 100 subscribers, I will do a follow-up video with the winner of the giveaways. Each future video will be a chance to win. Now back to your regularly scheduled video. So I have grades all ready for her. Based off of this sale, 100 comic books, all bagged and boarded, serious runs of everyone, a couple valuable ones. I was pretty pleased with this one. I was happy, and it's a pretty good sale. I would recommend this particular one for anyone who's looking for, full runs of sets, who wants to put a decent amount of books in their collection. I normally stay away from large collections that have a lot of books for, a certain price. And I feel like most collectors, when they get these big collections like this, or when they get these mystery boxes with a lot of books, it's really just grabbing books out of, a shelf, or you don't know where they're really coming from, and there's no rhyme or reason for them, and you get all sorts of crazy books. I've done this before. I've opened up quite a few mystery boxes, even off camera. And, when you have like 50, 60, 100 books, it usually just is something that's like, most of it you're you're completely unhappy about getting. Not too bad for this one. Every single book was either Marvel or DC, just like it said. But let's get into it. All right, so cost versus value. Even though there wasn't like a ton of value here, there was enough that, you know, if you wanted to buy this to flip, you could potentially make your money back, you know, minus like eBay fees or anything like that. But with 100 books, even if you sell them for $1 or a little bit under, I mean, obviously you still have some room to wiggle. And then there's a couple books that are actually collectible in here. So I gave it a 2.5. You know, nothing really stuck out as like super valuable except for that Spider-Man book. For collectability, there were some number ones in here. There was definitely a lot of runs, but there was really only one book that was like a real collectible. No variants or anything like that. I gave it a 1.75. So average is 1.5. But this is a 1.75, so a little bit above average. For condition, they were all bagged and boarded, but a lot of them did have condition issues. They had spine rolls, they had some ticks on them. It's pretty much what I expect out of a mid 2000s to late 90s collection. So I gave it a 1.5. But for correctness, I gave it a 3. I thought that it was a very accurate reflection of what the seller said it was going to be. With that brings the total to a 8.75. Certainly not one of the highest grades that I've ever given, but not one of the lowest grades either. That's still better than average. But what do you guys think? Would you buy a collection like this for $60 plus tax, free shipping? Is this something that you'd be interested in getting, that meaning that you got a couple books of value and some are just runs of kind of common books, not rare or anything like that? Is this something that you would buy? Let me know below. If you enjoyed comics and learned anything, I would appreciate you subscribing. If you didn't learn anything and you know about every single one of these books, well, you're awesome. I'll still appreciate a like though. Check me out on Instagram. Let me know below which book that you'd like for the contest, because that's still going on. I think we're about a quarter of a way to our goal. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them in the next video. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.